how do we continue the momentum throughout the day?
What I like to do is I like to write my affirmations with a dry erase marker. And it's just basically, hey, listen, the more no's I get, the closer I get to a yes. How many no's did I get today? So I write down no and put a line underneath it. And I put down 10 no's, but then I know right next to it, there's going to be a yes. So for me personally, what that shows me is that, hey, look, we're just simply looking for the yes. All we need is one.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If we could just get one yes per day, Noel, that will change our life. Because that's one appointment a day, 5 appointments a week, 20 a month. And even if you're at a 25% conversion ratio, that's 4 deals per month, which puts you at 48. That's 48 deals. And if you have an average check at $10,000, you just made $480,000 in GCI by focusing on one.
Hi, I'm Noelle with today's Brew, where top producing real estate agents share their tips and tricks on taking more listings, making more money, and having fun doing it. On today's Coach's Corner, we welcome Rob Carbuccia. Hi, Rob. How are you doing?
Hi, Noelle. What's going on, girl?
Oh, not too much. We're really excited to have you on. Master NLP trainer. For people not familiar with that, please elaborate.
Yes, NLP stands for neurolinguistic programming, which is basically all the best practices that you see worldwide, nationwide, all the high top performing people. They use all these practices and put it into one category, which is called neurolinguistic programming, and how to change our mind, change our thinking, change our approach, and even just manifest things a whole lot better, because these are all the best practices. So that's what I focus on as a trainer's trainer.
So people still not knowing what that really does. What does it do for people that are in this position of real estate and getting in front of people and talking? Does it help them with their anxiety? Does it help them with their communication?
Oh gosh, man, it helps them with so many things. So to put it into context of real estate, when you look at it in the context of real estate, neurolinguistic programming has a layer of hypnosis as well, too, as part of one of the tools that we use. So when you look at the layer of hypnosis, there's different things that we do when we communicate with our clients and we communicate with people that affects our tonality, our rate of speech, even the words that we use. Because when a person is in that state of trance, let's say, or hypnosis or relaxation, we listen to things much differently, because our unconscious mind is now receiving the information. So when you put all these techniques that you learn in neurolinguistic programming, what it does is it allows you to become a more powerful communicator, so that when you communicate with your clients, they connect with you on a personal level faster than you could ever imagine, versus, you trying to build rapport by like, hey, Noelle, you play golf? And you're like, yes. Oh, I play golf too. And that's like, I've never played golf before, right? Or, hey, do you like hiking? Yeah, I like hiking too. So we start building rapport in this really weird way, versus simple techniques that are from the world of NLP. And that's one way that you can use it in a business context. It just makes you a better communicator, a better connector, and a better leader and influencer, which is what we all want to be, right?
Absolutely. And I would imagine that it's helpful when picking up the phone and prospecting, because if you are making people feel relaxed, like you mentioned at the beginning, that's kind of what we want, because we don't want them to hang up on us.
Exactly. Yeah. Within the first 2 to 3 seconds of a person picking up the phone, if they hang up on us, it's because of the fact that we're simply not able to build rapport with them. So when you use some NLP techniques on building rapport quickly on the phone, then it helps to keep the conversation longer. And obviously, the longer you have the person on the phone, the more opportunities you have to close them for an appointment. And so these techniques this is what I call the secret weapon when it comes to real estate, but it's also the secret weapon when it comes to life, and the secret weapon when it comes to becoming a top CEO, a top business owner, a top entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. This is the secret sauce.
It sounds like it. I mean, your voice is very comforting to me and for everybody watching this, I'm sure. So you mentioned the tonality. How about the work environment in general when you're prospecting? What should agents be doing prior to picking up the phone to better prepare themselves for the phone calls that they're about to make?
Well, one technique that we can do is it's called future pacing, right? Mm-hmm. So when as a real estate agent, you know, you have something that you want to be able to see what your day is going to look like. You want to see what your intention is going to look like for you in the future, right? So the moment you wake up in the morning, if you focus on spending time on just looking at your day and envisioning a positive outcome, that will support you in taking the right actions and the right steps. That's number one. Okay. And then number two, there's something that we call anchoring, right? And to quickly explain anchoring, how this works, it's like, let's say, for example, somebody, I mean, this is what I use because everybody's had a relationship and has had some kind of a breakup or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then you go back to a restaurant that you used to eat at with that prior person or that relationship. And when you go back to that restaurant, what happens is it fires off that anchor of the memories. It fires off the emotions. You even start to think about the food and everything that you ate, and even partly the conversations of that prior relationship until you release that anchor. Mm-hmm. So here's what I mean. The moment you're about to start your prospecting, I would always say, it's showtime. That is my anchor, right? Because that launches me into that state and energy where the moment I get on the phone, it is showtime. And then there's this one song that I would listen to, Noel. Have you ever heard Back in Black by AC/DC? I know it's like old school song. It's the one from Iron Man.
Yes.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So I would, so that is my anchor, and I would fire it off in the morning, and that is my routine, and it would get me into that state of mind for lead generation. It would get me into the state of mind for the rest of my day, and even for my listing presentation, everything. So those are all techniques in the world of neurolinguistic programming.
No, yeah, and that gets you to pick up the phone and motivate your day and get you started and pump you up. Now, how do we continue the momentum throughout the day when maybe you're not getting the best people picking up on the other side, maybe some angry people that didn't get their home sold by their other agent, if you're calling expireds, or maybe even just a FSBO who says, no, I can do this, I don't need you.
Yeah, no, hey, listen, I can appreciate that. Some of the things that I know I've used and many of my clients use is that they have what they call is it's like a gratitude journal or gratitude notes. Or if you're prospecting in front of a mirror, what I like to do is I like to write my affirmations in front of the mirror with a dry erase marker. And it's just basically, hey, listen, the more no's I get, the closer I get to a yes. How many no's did I get today? So I write down no and put a line underneath it, and I put down 10 no's, but then I know right next to it, there's going to be a yes. So for me personally, what that shows me is that, hey, look, we're just simply looking for the yes. All we need is one. Mm-hmm. That's it. If we could just get one yes per day, Noel, that will change our life. Because that's one appointment a day, 5 appointments a week, 20 a month. And even if you're at a 25% conversion ratio, that's 4 deals per month, which puts you at 48. And times, and
yes, please.
Yeah, right. That's 48 deals. And if you have an average check at $10,000, you just made $480,000 in GCI by focusing on one.
I like it. And how important do you think that is right now with without getting into any negativity of what's going on in the news? But with just to touch on it a little bit, now's probably the time to really be sharpening our skills as listing agents and picking up the phone more, just sharpening your skills and transitioning into getting to those listing appointments and getting the yes and staying positive, like you'd said beforehand. How can we carry that over into the listing presentations to get the deals?
Well, I mean, I think the one thing that we can do is number one, for anybody who's really conscious of how the mind works. The mind is like a field, right? Earl Nightingale said this, and he mentioned that whatever it is that you plant into the field, that's what you're going to reap. So when you look at the news and you look at anything that's out there, I choose to not plant those seeds in my mind. I choose to focus on what I see in front of me, what I see the market is doing, because everybody has needs and wants that are outside of what the news is trying to, portray to us at the moment. That's number one. And number two, if I focus strictly on that and I just focus on the needs of my sellers when I'm going on a listing presentation, something that I always implement, which is, what can I do to help? Tell me about your situation. And ultimately, at the end of the day, what would make you happy? What is your ultimate goal? If you can have anything that you want in your life, what would it be? So when I have these discovery questions with my sellers and even with my buyers, it opens the door for them to have a conversation with you, right? Because at the end of the day, every single one of us, whether we want to identify with it or not, we are coaches. Every one of us is a coach, a mentor, a leader. And to lead is to come from the angle of empathy and sympathy, and then empower the people in front of us. So if we go into a listing presentation that starts off with, hey guys, I am so excited to have your home on the market and to help you get it sold so that you can get what you want in the time that you want. Right? I mean, you're already setting the tone that, number one, you're going to be the one listing the property.
Exactly.
Number two, you're excited to work with them. and number three, you're going to help them get what they want in the time that they want. I mean, come on, how awesome is that? You are the solution maker. That's who you are. So
sold.
Let's do it. All we need to do now is simply sign the contract.
Signing up now. You got me.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So for newer agents getting into the business, how would you help them structure their day for being successful for the new year?
Oh my gosh. Newer agents getting into the business. You know, it's interesting because I've seen so many different dynamics when it comes to newer agents. I think number one is as a new agent, obviously you don't need to know everything before you go ahead and list and sell a property. So the whole concept of paralysis by analysis is like the number one hurdle that I think newer agents have to face. And it's like, you know what, just do it. Period. That's your play, right? If you're playing football and this is the play we're going to call, which is lead generate is the play, 3 hours a day, set one appointment a day, just do it. That's it. Don't focus on anything else. That's number one. Number two, it's all about the database, right? Because the database, when you build your database, it's strictly a numbers game. You know, it's become a networker. Notice how you connect with people. If you are somebody that likes to network, go to parties and be social, then just keep adding people to your database. Focus on adding people to your database. Don't focus on what they look like, how much money they have, how much money they don't have. The ultimate goal is to build relationships, because the more relationships you have connections with, the more opportunities you're going to have in the near future. And that's the second thing. And the third thing is that I've learned is that everything is about momentum. Yes. So when you're a brand new agent, you're here for the purpose of building momentum. And when I say building momentum, that means that for the people that you're communicating with, they need to be quote unquote brainwashed in a way that you are a real estate agent. And it typically takes about 18 months for something like that to happen. And oftentimes what I notice is new agents give up way too early. The average brand new agent, when I was a team leader in Fort Lauderdale for the Keller Williams, the average agent would last 6 months, and that's it, 3 to 6 months, and they were gone. Because because they were like thinking in their minds, oh, it's a 90-day cycle, you know. And I'm like, listen, your first 90 days, dude, you're gonna be navel gazing, you know, wondering why did you get into this business? So just focus on building your database, and you're gonna get some better results.
No, you're right about it taking some time to retrain people's brains. Even, I mean, I've been in the business 4 years now, and I have friends now that regularly reach out to me,
right,
just to ask questions, for maybe like an appliance repair or new carpet or paint, you know. And then, but like you said, I've trained their brain from going from them knowing me in another business for 20 years and now into real estate. So not giving up and being persistent definitely is good advice for newer agents.
Yeah. And one last thing to add is as newer agents, don't convolute the message. Right now, I have so many people on my Facebook, right, as friends that are real estate agents. And when I look through at least 80% of the profiles, I would think, number one, oh, are they insurance agents? Are they supermodels? Are they car drivers? And it's like 80-90% of the people, they're communicating so many confusing messages about who they are and what they do that it's counterproductive. So if you're going to do this business, which is a business that can yield amazing results, an amazing life, and it can turn you into a business owner, a true business owner, just start communicating one message. I list and sell real estate. I work with buyers and sellers. That's it. One message. Focus on that, because it's going to take time for our audiences and our friends and family to get used to the fact that they can come to us for the purpose of buying and selling real estate.
Since you kind of touched on social media a little bit, what do you think an agent's presence should be on there? Because in my area there's 8,000 agents, and my friends know 10 agents or more. So how do you stand out? How do you present yourself on social media? How do you be relatable to people without being too salesy and just shoving real estate down their throat? How do you get their attention but also still stand out as a human being?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great point. In terms of, I'd say in terms of the way Facebook works, we got to understand that there's a few factors in play, right? That's called the whole Facebook algorithm. Facebook will only show a person like your post to maybe 20 people that are in your friends list. So because Facebook they're a business. So they want you to pay for ads if you want to market whatever your product is. So that's number one. Number two, I tell real estate agents, guys, Facebook has done all the lead generation for you. Facebook has given you so many people that you can build your business with. It's just we don't know how to use it. So if I were to use Facebook as a real estate agent, the first thing that I would do is brand myself as a real estate agent, right? Have that big banner, use that as a space. I know a lot of us, if we've been with Facebook from the beginning, we've already been taught that it's for friends and family. You know what? Have a separate Facebook page or whatever you want to profile just for your friends and family if you feel like you need to put your pictures of going out to dinner and so on and so forth. But for the purpose of lead generation, Facebook can be very powerful as a channel, as your own news station, as your own cable network. So brand your Facebook profile as a professional real estate agent, number one. Number two, start friending people that are in your area, in your neighborhood, that would be potential buyers and sellers. And start friending people who are constantly relocating into your area. So if you're in South Florida, guess what? South Florida, Canadians, South Florida, New Yorkers, South Florida, Detroit, Michigan, right? Those are like the three biggest places. And if you start posting about all your activities in South Florida, those friends that you've connected with, they'll start to see what some things are happening in South Florida, or wherever state you live in. So I think if we're intentional in how we use Facebook, you're going to get great results. And then in addition to that, the last thing I would say is start sending out messages, start sending out DMs. If you're a social media person, DM people as they accept you as friends, send them a message. Hey, what's going on? Great meeting you. Start doing that. You send out 50 messages a day, you'll get back about 10 responses. But again, you only need one appointment. That's
right. So you got to talk to people. Don't be a secret agent.
Yeah, that doesn't work in this business.
So I really appreciate you coming on. I do want to ask you this because we're getting ready to lead into a new year. What's the one thing that you can offer to agents to get them going and motivated and maybe do something differently from last year to be a little more successful?
Well, here's what I can say is how we look at life is going to be the game changer. Everybody has been through all kinds of trials and tribulations, right? We've had the whole year. It's been whether ups or downs. For some people, 2023 has been one of their best years. For other people, it's been one of the most challenging years. So here's what I say. Focus on what works and what doesn't work. That's your feedback. That's all of our feedback for 2023. Not how well we did, or if we're a good person, if we're a bad person, if we did the right things or if we did the wrong things. Look at what worked. So I would say for anybody going into 2024, which would obviously hopefully be all of us, right? For anybody going into 2024 in this business, write down what worked in 2023, what worked in 2022, things that worked. And when I say things that worked, it got you business, not the things that you liked, not the things that gave you warm, fuzzy feelings. This is not an emotional conversation. This is a business conversation, right? It's like, what worked? Did going out to networking events and handing out 20, 30, 40 business cards, did that yield you a transaction? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, cut it out. That's it. Cut it out. Delete. And if picking up the phone and talking to 10 of your friends and family every single day, and that's 50 friends and family that you talk to in a week, and that worked and that got you appointments, okay, great. So now you have something that worked. Focus on that and add that to your business plan, your strategy, your action list for 2024. And here's the cool thing. If you focus on very simple numbers, if I talk to 50 friends in a week, that was 50 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20, so it's 200 people in a month. If we even did that, let's say we talked to 100 people in a month and we got one deal, then ask ourselves, what would happen if we talked to 200? Would we get 2 deals? Mm-hmm. If we talked to 300, would we get 3 deals, right? Try to see how you can scale it, because I think oftentimes we don't look at our business from a methodical way where we need to look at it. And then if I can do it differently and I can do it better and still get the same results, what action steps would I take then? And that's the way I look at my business plan. That's the way I look at my business model. That's the way I coach our agents. I'm not here to change you as a person. I'm here to capitalize on what you're doing really, really well. And then the next step is, how can we scale that? How can we accelerate it? How can we put some octane booster, right, into that engine so that you can fly? And that's what I would say focus on. That's right. That's what I would say for 2024. Let's crank it up.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on today. And is this the only way we can get in touch with you, transform.us, or do you have a phone number you're welcome to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would say for anybody, it's you can find me on Facebook, right? Robert Carbuccia. Definitely send me a DM. You can connect with me on my Instagram account. It's at Robert Carbuccia. But also too, if you send an email to info@robscoaching.com or info@email.robscoaching.com, you can connect with me as well too. So there's many ways. Even Transform, you can connect with me. Either way is fine. But bottom line is this: I'm here to be of support. I'm doing a lot of business planning right now with a lot of agents, and I'm donating my time just to be able to do that with them. So if you guys want to have a business planning session, by all means, reach out to me and we'll go over your numbers. We'll go over everything.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.